Hello, friends. Matthew Zachary here. You know, you've been told that the American healthcare system is broken. It isn't. It's working exactly as designed. Delays, denials, dehumanization. For decades, it's been profits over patients. You need proof? What's the first question they ask you? What insurance do you have? That tells you everything. And it isn't just big health insurance. It's the American Medical Association, it's labor unions, it's employers, politicians from both sides, and even the IRS. Yes, the IRS. They built it this way. And now it's time we, the patients, rig the system in our favor. Here's the prescription. We, the patients, understanding, navigating, and surviving America's healthcare nightmare. My new book by me, Matthew Zachary, a 30-year brain cancer survivor, the founder of Stupid Cancer, the host of this podcast, Out of Patients, and co-founder and CEO of We the Patients. Pick up your copy of We the Patients today wherever books are sold, or visit wethepatientsbook.com to learn more.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. My guest today is Dr. Sarah Matt. She's a surgeon trained in burn care who walked away from the bedside after realizing she could only help one person at a time. Then she rebuilt her career in health tech and helped shape systems that serve millions. She's worked inside startups, built cloud infrastructure at Oracle before anyone knew what the hell that even meant, and she still manages to spend time seeing patients in rural New York, including folks with no insurance, migrant workers, and communities most systems forget exist. She's an upstate girl, first doctor in her family, learned the hard way without shortcuts, and somewhere along the line became a volunteer firefighter and a roller derby skater, my old job. She wrote a book called The Borderless Healthcare Revolution after realizing that everyone has a healthcare access story and almost none of them are good. Her core argument is very simple. We keep building things for people without involving people, then act shocked when it fails. In today's conversation, you're going to hear how good intentions turn into unusable products, why smart people keep making the same mistakes, what happens when the people using a system are not the ones buying it, and why empathy has a shelf life when you're practicing medicine full time. Stick with us. It's going to be a good show. My name is Matthew Zachary. This is Out of Patients. Let's get started. What kind of last name is Matt?
The best kind, because everyone actually pronounces it the right way.
You know what? I never thought about that.
It's true. I mean, think about it. I'm Dr. Matt. It
Although,
works.
have you heard Matt because you're from upstate?
You know what? We just have to make sure that the folks in various boroughs and the people upstate are not held to the same standard for pronunciation. It's okay.
I went to Binghamton. I was Matt downstate. By the way, I learned there wasn't upstate by going to Binghamton. Was unaware that anything north of Westchester was Canada.
This is true.
Yes. So my sweet mate's girlfriend was from Skinny Atlas.
I got married in Skinny Atlas.
Oh, really?
I did.
That lake is gorgeous, by the way.
Gorgeous.
And she called me Matt.
Oh.
I'm like, what the hell is that word?
You know what? We're not all like that.
I know. I've learned there's a diversity.
There is.
But did you say pop?
No. That's Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Val's here. Val's your assistant?
Yes.
She's the Greek chorus staring at me from the couch. You can't see her because it's radio.
Thank God for that.
But she's really, thank God for that. I saw Fayetteville's your origin story.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're an expat from the deep south.
I wouldn't say that. So I actually was born and raised in upstate New York, right near Syracuse.
But you went down there and then came back.
Well, so back in the day, upstate New York didn't have much going on for it. And
Was
so,
this post IBM's decimation?
well, Kodak and all those pieces were mostly Buffalo. Syracuse didn't even have that.
Oh, okay.
So when I went to med school, and then after that, I was like, well, I am getting out of here. And so I did my training in DC, and then I was in Austin, Texas for a long time.
That's a great place. I love that place.
It was nice.
6th Street just done me in a couple of times.
I'm sure it does everybody in, I think. But then during COVID, moved back upstate because now it's really great to be in New York. There's so much going on, even upstate. I know the people who live here in the city are like, what are you talking about? But it's true. And it's so interesting to be able to finally make not just global impact, but local impact.
Well, I think the word local in the dictionary is the Carrier Dome.
It's not even called that anymore. That's
I
how
know.
old we are, okay?
Yeah. May I tell you my Carrier Dome story?
Please do.
Okay. We went to go see Billy Joel at the Carrier Dome in 1994. And he pulled this whole trick on us where he invited the entire stadium to look up at the ceiling, which, by the way, for the listeners, is like a plastic air-filled dome. It's not made of anything of real mechanical substance. And he invited like 30,000 people to inhale at once.
That's terrible.
My introduction to the Carrier Dome was, let's destroy it, Billy Joel.
Oh, Billy Joel.
Yeah. Wow. All right. My first question to anyone that is in medicine is, why medicine?
So I'm one of those people that knew when I was a little kid that I wanted to be a doctor. I don't have any doctors in my family, though. So I was the first one. And I think it was more me being a helper. I like to help. And I think that, to me, type A personality, smart kids, I know. Spoiler. Hey, that's a way to help people. And so I decided early that I wanted to go to medicine, but I kept my options open. When I was in undergrad, I actually was trying to decide if I want to be a large animal vet or a doctor. And
That's
then,
a fork in the road.
It is, but I was going to be a helper, right? And my origin story there and why I didn't become a vet, I was doing research on dairy cows and I was in the barn like every morning at 4 a.m. And one morning I was in there and I heard cough.
Something was dying?
No, it was a cough. It sounded like a human cough.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, it's 4 a.m. I am now dead. I am 20. This is
Freddy
the end.
Krueger's
Exactly.
hiding in the shadows?
This is it.
Yeah.
It was a freaking sheep. And
What?
it was a sheep. They cough just like humans. So I was like, you know what? I'm out.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm not doing this vet thing.
It was too scary.
It was too much. It really just, the whole
The
thing.
Wes Craven part of this
Yes,
story? Okay,
yes.
got it.
So after that, I was like, I think we're good.
And scene.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. Where'd you practice? Where'd you get your degree from?
I went to Cornell for undergrad, and I
Okay.
went to SUNY Upstate for med school.
All right. So you really are more like an upstate New York girl than anything else.
It is.
Austin being there and North Carolina.
I get around, but yes, that's where I was from.
But I mean, the culture shock alone, right, is very impressive.
It was definitely different moving to DC from being an upstate New York kid forever.
Yeah.
I realized that I had no idea about so many things. No idea about diversity, no idea about driving through bad neighborhoods, no idea about traffic. It was definitely a new experience.
Right. So your subspecialty is?
So I'm trained as a surgeon, but I had my fellowship in burns.
Like fire.
Like fire.
Wow. Okay. That's got to be harder than I only know like backdraft. That's my experience, thankfully. I had cancer, got that box ticked. I got backdraft. Ron Howard, we're done, right? How accurate was that film? Because I know you're a firefighter too, right? Volunteer?
Yeah, I've been a volunteer in Fayetteville for on and off for 20 years in med school. And then when I moved on back, started up again. The only reason I put a hold at the moment is that last year I broke my leg playing roller derby. And so I didn't feel like I could go back into burning buildings anymore.
I feel like the record scratch happens now because we have roller derby in the conversation. Do you know the musical Starlight Express?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The listeners like, what? Where are they going with this? So just for the listener, Starlight Express was a tragically fantastic musical in the 1980s.
That's a good way to put it.
It was fantastic because in London on the West End, it was basically like Rent on roller skates before Rent was Rent.
Yep.
But on the West End, because I produced the show in college. we didn't really have skates. They were just pretending to skate. They taught skaters how to act.
Oh.
But here on Broadway, they made the fatal mistake, and I say fatal, by teaching actors to skate. And anyone can see where this is going. And I remember seeing it in 7th grade.
Wow.
And my God, it was like that Alita Battle Warrior movie.
Or like baby giraffes everywhere.
It was so bad.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, but I'm glad I would be disappointed if you were not aware.
Oh, no, I'm well aware.
Of Starlight Express. Andrew Lloyd Webber's fabled loss leader.
Loss leader's a good word for it,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So we met through the illustrious Jessica Federer, past guest on the show, friend of the show, friend of me, friend of a lot of people.
Because she's amazing.
She is amazing. Are you part of the women's health advocacy universe?
I'm not really at this point, but we definitely interacted a lot during my Oracle days. And she's always been pounding that wonderful drum. And that's how I got into contact with her so many years ago.
When she was at Bayer?
After that, but when she was working at the beginning stages, I'd say, of her current movement.
So what does the firefighter, roller derby, surgeon turned burn person doing at Oracle?
So I had been...
By the way, that's a lot of adjectives leading up to who you are.
You chose those words, my friend.
I know.
So I realized during my fellowship in surgery that I was kind of, I'd say, confined at the bedside. So I could only see one person at a time. Okay, people are dying. During a day, you could see maybe 20, maybe 40 people on a crazy day. But I thought that I could perhaps make bigger impact and impact hundreds, thousands, millions, bazillions of people every day. And for me, it wasn't at the bedside. And I had different skills than some of the other people. So I kind of went 180 and moved down to Austin, started my MBA at UT, and made my way into tech. So my first gig...
Wait, was this pre-internet or like middle internet or like still dial-up internet?
I am not that old, man.
Okay.
It was definitely with smartphones.
So Facebook era.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I was in Austin, Texas, and it was great from a tech perspective. So I started at NextGen Healthcare, was there for a long time, did my whole Austin startup gig. I mean, I got to ride my bike downtown and drink my kombucha on tap, all the things. Went to a couple startups.
It is a weird city, right? Is that where the weird or something like that?
It used to be weirder.
Okay.
It's getting a little bit more California now because the entire state moved
Okay,
there.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Rip Austin.
But yeah, so I mean, so my whole career has actually been on the tech side.
Like Jessica, sort of.
Exactly. So
Chief Digital, for those listening, Chief Digital Officer at Bayer. Mm-hmm. First female at Bayer.
Correct.
Were you the first female in your position at Oracle?
So they made a position for me at Oracle.
Oh, wow.
So I actually went there
You're that special.
I don't know about that. So I went there to build out OCI, so Oracle Cloud, for healthcare and life sciences around the world. And so at the time, cloud was kind of newish.
Right.
And so bringing it to ministries of health all over the world, big payers, big pharma, big biotech, lots of great places here in the US was really amazing. And it got Oracle kind of excited about healthcare, and I got to be a part of the Cerner acquisition.
Did you get to go to Larry's like Zen garden?
You know what? I have not been to Larry's Zen garden.
Okay. It's fabled.
There's also unicorns too, but I don't know which one's real or not.
I've only heard the man is obsessed with Japan, which is a good culture to be obsessed with.
He's really smart, though. When you actually work with him directly, he's smarter than people give him credit
He's
for.
quite tall, too, I understand.
He's not that tall.
Okay, maybe not. I've never met him. I'm just like assuming the height, like Tom Cruise wears lifts in all of his movies. Maybe he's faking it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Help me understand what Taco Tuesday means to you.
So, first of all, it's Taco Thursday for
Taco
a reason.
Thursday.
Because
I stand chronologically corrected.
it's okay. You know, everyone does Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
So why not add another taco day? Taco Thursday. So
Taco every day.
every day. Every day is a good taco day.
If it ends in a Y, it should be taco.
One would think.
Yes.
But you know, I can only start from some one little place.
Okay, go for it.
So Taco Thursdays began unexpectedly because I think I was doing a rant on tacos on a random Thursday. And I was like, hey, I love talking about tacos. I'm very passionate about tacos. I would love to eat tacos 3 times a day if possible.
Wait, crunchy or soft shell?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
I'm equal opportunity.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say you're Unitarian taco
Exactly.
eater.
Plus,
Okay.
in Austin, breakfast tacos are a real thing.
Chewy's.
Chewy's is a thing.
Yes. For the listeners, again, Chewy's is one of the most fabled taco joints, would you say? in Austin?
There's so many. Everyone has very passionate tastes.
CHUI. Chewy's.
Is it? I don't know.
Someone fact check me, please. We'll put it in the show notes.
In the show notes. So it started there, and everyone's like, we love taco puns. And I'm like, I also love taco puns. And sometimes, you know how it is. You're giving all this great content. You're building out communication. And for me in healthcare, it's a lot of things about payers and providers and healthcare access. So it's really fun to talk about that once a week with tacos and taco puns.
So have you ever had a Thursday without a taco pun to date?
So I think I've been going taco.
It's like Wordle. Have you missed Wordle?
I know. I think I'm going am I going on 1 year now? 1 year, 3 months or something like that. We'll have to check that too as well. But yeah, so I've been putting the tacos to the forefront.
Siblings?
I have a little brother.
How little?
A couple years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bully him and dress him up?
Definitely not.
Okay. I get weird stories on this show, so I have to ask the questions.
No, he's just retired as a career firefighter. He's a wonderful person. He lives in upstate New York too.
All right. So thank him for his service. I don't think firefighters get enough credit. Again, I'm living in like Kurt Russell backdraft days, but I do know how noble that profession is.
And he's a real deal. He's really amazing at what he does.
That's pretty cool. That's super cool. So let's talk about how you experienced what I call the absolute utter downfall of the way medicine is practiced with U.S. healthcare.
Wow. What part are we talking about here? Because there's a lot of things I could think about that match that description.
Well, as a patient advocate, I'm involved, ironically, in the physician burnout, moral injury, suicide universe. Are you at all adjacent to that?
So I'd say I'm adjacent, and I think I just wrote a post or an article just the other day on it too.
It's rampant.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. I'm part of a documentary I'd love to tell you about called Suck It Up, Buttercup.
Oh, boy.
It basically is a clapback against private equity buying up rural hospitals and the crushingness, is that a word? The crushingness of how health insurance is like basically ruining Hippocrates in practice. And everyone's fleeing to, be their own independent practitioner.
It's tricky. I mean, I think back to, I'm one of the only people in like I'd say med school class that left medicine early and went to the tech side, but again, in healthcare.
Right.
And for the first decade or so, every time I would see someone, they'd be like, oh my God, tell us what you're doing.
Yeah. Take me with you.
Exactly.
Pack me in your luggage.
Exactly.
Help me understand. So you've done international work.
Yeah.
From your perspective, everyone already knows that other countries have, I would say, differently better or differently worse healthcare systems. There is no one fabulous country that's fixed everything. Although I've heard New Zealand comes close if that's remote. What was your experience seeing that for the first time, having lived in this country with what we have?
So I think the interesting thing is that most of the countries with almost single payer systems have a higher basement for their citizens, and it's part of their culture. And so when we think about the basement level of healthcare that we give our citizens, it's also part of our culture. And we have to remember that too. And so when we think about every American, generally, that's how people are thinking about what citizens should have for healthcare.
Right.
So a big cultural difference. The other thing is that people are on wait lists, people are doing this, people are doing that. You hear about the bad stuff. At the same time, there's always some private insurance aspect in all of these countries. So the haves will continue to have. So it means the basement's up for everybody, but the haves, they can always get what they need. Same as here in the United States.
But I mean, that's still better than what we have in the United States.
The basement is a lot higher. That's true.
In other countries, yeah.
Agreed.
We don't even have a basement. It's like just like a giant pit.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a giant hole in the ground. 160 million Americans are basically living on the edge of their employer benefits.
Yes, they are.
Right. That's a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, sometimes 60s that are like in the Medicare universe. Have you done any work at the employer level? Any of the Oracle stuff touch that universe?
So a lot of the work that we did with payers, some of it was very employee based. But again, most of the work we did was either how we could bring them to the cloud and ensure that they were doing the right things with data, Hopefully they still are. And then
the babysitter left the baby.
there's only so much I can do. But then also, how can we make things more efficient, effective, faster for patients, things of that sort. And again, the data flow is really important for that.
So in 2008, I was invited to join the Google Health Advisory Council. Back when companies thought, we'll just go into healthcare, right?
Yep.
Hashtag Maven, or Haven, sorry, hashtag Amazon's Haven. But my biggest takeaway by being there is just so superficial that I'm on like DSL and dial-up. It's 2008. God knows what's going on. And Google Campus had like terabyte internet. Did you have that moment or so this is how it really should be?
I think I realized what all the options were.
Yeah.
And I hadn't necessarily realized what all the options were before that.
Exactly.
Especially as I kind of learned more about the PaaS and IaaS layers. It's like, wow, we could do so many things. And we did a lot of things, which was great.
The clouds always freak me out. I keep thinking about how when PayPal existed and no one trusted their credit card on the internet. And now the adoption of cloud, here we are. Everything's cloud right now. It is. Everything's cloud right now. What's a cable? What's a cord, right? Seriously, how did that work at Oracle? How do you trust the internet when it's just becoming the thing?
So it's interesting. Oracle at the time had been kind of the dark horse in cloud. And when you see the insides of it and you see the engineering teams directly working on security features, directly working on democratization of data, directly working on all these pieces to keep that data safe, secure, manageable, monitorable, you recognize that, wow, this is all here. I wonder what these companies are doing to mess it up.
Right.
And I know that seems kind of harsh, but
it's like a beautiful, cynical view of everything.
But at the same time, if you've seen one version of a cloud, you've seen one version of a cloud because it all depends on who owns it and how they're managing it.
Right. So why did you leave? So
after the Cerner acquisition, I got to do a whole bunch of amazing things. My team got to do the post-close diligence on the stack. I got to...
Wait. It's a lot of jargon there. What does that mean?
So after we acquired...
I'm going to hit the jargon button for a second.
Apologies.
Okay.
So after we acquired Cerner, they had all this new software and they needed someone to look under the hood. My team got to do that. And it was really cool.
Would you find like a Volkswagen Beetle engine or something?
Some spaghetti. Okay. Some spaghetti. Okay. But
nothing a little WD-40 can't fix.
Everything's fixable, theoretically. Just time and money, right? Mm-hmm. And got to do a whole bunch of other interesting things, building out new concepts and then running several parts of that business. And I kind of reached a scale where it's like, wow, we've reached the scale, those hundreds, thousands, millions, bazillions of people. What do I want to do next? And so I went back to startups. And so I joined Savato. They're out of Santa Barbara. They're doing great right now.
Savato? Okay.
And they're focused on remote robotic surgery.
That's cool shit.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And I'm all about healthcare access. And so for me, that was a really interesting way to help people get access to surgery. How could we do it robotically? Remotely. Amazing. So
who was the first guinea pig that signed up for that?
So actually, people have been doing it all over the world for a long time.
Okay.
So back
but
in
assuming it's like the first person that saw a sea cucumber. It's like, I'm going to eat that.
I don't even want to start there. Who decided to drink milk? I don't know.
I know, right? Exactly.
But yeah, so interesting. Lots of problems to solve. But from a technical perspective, solvable. 100%.
Let's take a quick break on that cliffhanger, and we'll be right back after the break. We can't not talk about health insurance because you used my trigger word as a Gen Xer, which is access.
I did it.
Which is knowing shit exists, right? And it's always falling on the patient to seem to know shit exists. And I have a new book coming out, and the theory or the thesis is nothing matters if Aetna says go fuck yourself.
I like that thesis.
Right. Where are you in this space?
So the way that I talk about healthcare access is...
By the way, Aetna, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. So the way I talk about healthcare access is a little bit different than how some other people do. So I split it into 5 different groups.
I'm going to start tracking this now.
Geography, financial, digital, cultural, and trust and knowledge.
Is that like the social, I'm doing air quotes, social determinants of health?
No.
Okay.
I don't talk about social determinants. I don't talk about health equity for reasons, because
Thank God. Go ahead.
everybody that I talk to, whether it's Joe Blow on the subway or a big, important executive at a big conference, everyone has a health access story. Everyone's grandmother, kid, themselves has had a hard time accessing healthcare. And that's something we all can come together and talk about.
Right.
Whereas some of those other terms you just mentioned, they can be a little fuzzy. People don't like to talk about them.
I think it's made up jargon to give someone a business card.
Probably.
All right. I have the third person that agrees with me on that thought.
Oh, only the third.
I know. I really haven't asked that many people either.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, people on the street have no idea what I'm talking about.
Probably.
Good old acronyms. SDOH. All right. Another question I have is, you're very personable. You got a great look about you in terms of like friendliness and empathy. You grew up getting bullied like I did, right? We were like black sheep and whatever. Like I was like the fat Jewish kid at camp that couldn't play sports, but I could play piano. So that was one thing I had that gave me an identity. I liked the fact that I was made to feel inferior by other people because I feel it gave me a sense of like I'm worth it. You come across that way.
So I do come from humble beginnings. And as I said, I'm the first doctor in my family. And I felt like, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of the easy pathways. Like, oh, you want to get into med school? Ask your dad. But I didn't have that, right? Get into med school. Go take that fancy course for the MCAT. I had a book. Like all these different things that I kind of worked through. And my parents always said, oh, work hard. It'll build character. I'm dripping with character, Matt. Dripping with it.
I saw that with your giant, beautiful, well-branded orange LinkedIn photo background.
You're welcome.
I was like, this one knows what's going on.
I have good hair.
Yeah. You got the cut. I love it.
Did you see the star I have on the side here?
I saw that. Yeah. I mean, again, radio. No one knows what the hell I'm talking about.
I have a star on the side of my head. It's true.
No, I mean, it's intentional. You're owning who you are.
Yeah.
And I love that about you. Have you felt like in your interactions with patients, that whole empathy thing that we always talk about, you have it. Most doctors don't. Is that something we should be really working on, or is it okay to have a mechanic from time to time?
So I think for me, I see patients still. I do internal medicine, charity medicine out in Oneida, which is rural America, poor whites. I see a lot of migrant workers and Amish Mennonites, people with no insurance. And when I think about them talking to me as their doctor, I probably give them concierge doctor quality, because I get to see patients once a week at most. I am a great once a week doctor. I am the best doctor once a week. I am a terrible 7-day-a-week doctor. So my empathy level is like 110% right now. But I know that when I was practicing medicine 24/7, I just didn't have the juice. And I don't blame people that are in medicine now. It's so hard. There's so many demands, and they have to protect themselves in different ways. So they're doing the best they can because they're actually humans too.
There is an actual, I won't say a movement, but there's a new narrative in patient advocacy about empathy for your physician.
I like that idea too.
Right. I think that's really important. There's a level of, it's not really forgiveness per se, but you are in it, probably your most vulnerable state, hoping for hope and answers and research and trust. And that person, you don't know their story. They're there they chose medicine. Ideally, they chose this. They took the Hippocratic Oath, but they're just potentially unable to practice that because they're under this massive squeeze.
Exactly. And I'm very fortunate because I've been able to practice at different levels. And now it's just beautiful. I love seeing my patients. I love going into the office. And I wish that it had been like that 20 years ago.
But that's nearly impossible. I mean, we talk about rural America. 80% of the country is in rural America. Is these hospitals. There's a whole other podcast to be done about them getting bought.
Absolutely.
I almost said boughten. Boughten up.
For next time, we'll do that one.
Right. Coming soon. So, all right, let's go back to. I was reading that your mother was really important in your life, and I'm reading here, she worked for the post office.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
It's true.
But again, that's one of those things that we lose sight of the fact that that's an extraordinary job that teaches you interpersonal skills, community relationships. And she was, where was this post office?
Right in my hometown. So she actually delivered mail in my hometown. And then she worked through the ranks and became big postmaster of a really big post office
Right.
in upstate New York. And that was a very male dominated, and it still is,
Right.
organization. So she did some crazy trailblazing that a lot of people wouldn't do.
But that's like humble stuff. My parents were teachers, public educators in the public school system, and they just learned, they already had it in them, but just this level of understanding for the human condition and tolerance and empathy. Just a personal social comment. I think we've lost that in this country a little bit. Like, everyone wants to be a YouTuber.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
I think that everyone in a certain age group, and I know that sounds terrible, thinks that being a YouTuber is a great idea.
Yeah. Not okay.
I don't know. I think there's other options.
I think the makeup tutorial career industry on TikTok, not sustainable.
You know, I can tell you haven't been watching those.
I mean, I got some product on. You can't tell.
I can't tell.
No, I mean, it's the guy thing. Let's talk about your book, The Borderless Healthcare Revolution. Your first book?
My first book.
When was it released?
December.
Oh, brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new book. All right, folks, wherever books are sold.
Wherever books are sold.
Perfect. Why a book?
So I was given the opportunity at the end of 24 to write a book. Wiley came to me and said, hey, write a book. And I said, what do you want me to write it on?
We're both with Wiley.
Yeah, exactly. Look
Yeah.
at that. And they said, write a book. And I said, well, what do you want me to write it on? They said, well, what do you think will be the most impactful? And at the end of 24, the United States was just boiling with polarization. It was post-election. No matter where you went, people were just on edge. So I was thinking to myself, what could I talk about in healthcare that would not only be impactful, but bring people together so we can actually make change? And to me, that was healthcare access. Like I mentioned before, everyone has that access story. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I bought it.
So what I could glean from all the reviews, and you have a lot of good reviews on Amazon, by the way.
Thank you.
If you look at your reviews, they're pretty good. So what I gleaned out of this was one of the nuggets that I talked to Jess about when she was on the show is that companies with good intentions want to make great products, but they often forget who the products are for.
Yes.
So they wind up making something that the people it's intended for can't really use or doesn't really work.
Exactly.
Why is that still a thing? And whether it's like, oh, women use this too, or people with arthritis use an inhaler, like I can't push the buttons. Why is this still a thing? It perturbs me all the time.
So whether it's a product, whether it's a workflow, whether it's policy, oftentimes the big decisions are made in like the first couple months. We know this. And whoever's defining who it's for needs to define it well. So if they don't know what they're doing, say they don't have any healthcare expertise, or maybe they aren't surrounded by people that are experts, like, oh, a patient advocacy expert, that would be a good idea, right? Then they're going to define it on how they think that population is. And so this is straight up product management for technology, as an example. And a lot of people go straight to building the solution instead of asking all the questions on who, why, what, where, and figuring out what's the problem I'm actually trying to solve and for who.
One of my dear friends works in data, healthcare data, patient advocate data, and he's like the good housekeeper seal of approval of how poorly did you fuck this up?
Oh my goodness.
Whether it's a drug, a therapeutic, diagnostic, whatever the hell it is. And it's rampant that they're so excited to bring this thing out there and get their 510K or get their whatever that is, the FDA fast track stiff. They forget who it's for because all they want to do is get it FDA approved to sell to doctors. Do you have a massive failure story to tell about like the worst case that this could ever happen? Because I have one. Jess told me one about something in menopause that they forgot women were using it.
That's right. That's so bad.
Yeah.
I advise a ton of startups. So I see startups every day that I work with that I think the hardest founders to work with are the ones that have way too many letters after their name or big tech people.
Yeah.
Because they're very smart.
She's air quoting.
Very smart. But they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to actually productize and launch this so that it can hit that population.
Right.
And so the tech will be amazing for one group.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Well, again, I think the jargon for that is go-to market, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Or market access. But like market are the people that are going to use it, not the people that are going to buy it.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because really, a lot of times these tech companies, especially the startups, the early ones, they'll focus on the clinical champion at a hospital. And they'll have one doc or one nurse or one pharmacist that's super excited about the product. But they haven't talked to the person with a wallet.
Right.
And usually the trick in healthcare is that the users and the buyers and the patients are usually different. So CFO is buying something for a hospital system, a doctor's using it, and who gets the downstream effects? A patient. And so you have to work on all of them.
So I used to work in like consumer advertising before stupid cancer. My plan B when I didn't die was like, I should get a job.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And I worked for the ad agencies in the 1990s. And I learned so much about how they are so methodical about pre-planning their products because they can do the Pepsi challenge.
Yep.
They can put this in front of 7 teenagers in Omaha for a thing. We don't do that in healthcare. Why?
Sometimes I think we decide not to do it because it's not always cheap. It's not always fast. And sometimes it gives us very inconvenient answers.
Give me an example.
So if you get together a population, whatever they are, white Jewish guys who can't do athletics, great. We got them all together.
That's my jam.
I'm just saying, it's your people. You understand. Yeah. So we get them all together. What if they tell us they don't like the product? Do we not launch it? Well, crap. That's a big deal. You have to decide if and when you're going to bring in your population to actually tell you what's going on. And some people, they don't want to slow down. And so from a business perspective, they must release for X, Y, or Z reason for their business, they think. But it means they didn't actually build it for the right population.
I don't know if there's a stat for this, but if you were to conjecture, out of every 10 attempts, is there a rational way to think about how many do it wrong?
Oof. I mean, the fact that I can't tell who's doing it right now tells me that the number's low.
Okay. So this is basically SOP.
Pretty much.
That's unfortunate. What do you hope readers take? Actually, who's your ideal reader of your book, and what do you hope they learn from this?
So I have a couple groups that I've aimed this book at. First is people in delivery systems. So that's everyone from the CEO down to the head nurse on the floor. And I hope that they find that with every chapter they read, there's at least one thing that they can actionably do right now today to make an improvement in healthcare access. The other population I aim it at is builders in healthcare, because I want them to aim at those populations. I want them to build healthcare access in from the beginning instead of trying to bolt it on later, because I actually think it's a key differentiator for tech companies, and it can actually be great for your business.
I love that you answer in short sentences. Thank you for that.
I'm just a soundbite.
No, you're good. It's like, this is Fridge Magnet Bingo. This is fantastic. Do you have a success story for us of when they do it right that you were involved with?
Man.
Because you said you can't count it on your fingers, but can you count it on like one of the, so a thimble or something?
So I'm working with a really cool startup right now called Viamers, and they are working on a new headset for surgeons that will actually have all the imaging in the eye at the same time so that they can be operating and see all their images too, which is great. And I think that they're doing things the right way because they haven't launched the product. They've been working with a lot of KOLs, a lot of key opinion leaders.
Thanks for the acronym button.
I got you. But they've also brought in experts to help them do product design and actually do surveys and work with people before they finalize. And I really appreciate that. They're a small startup, but they've prioritized this. And so at least this one, I can see them going across the right path. So
your book's brand new.
It is.
You're going to market, but you know who your crowd is that you'd like to read it.
It's because I did the research.
Bingo. Because you're building the demand market.
I diagnosed it before I prescribed a medicine.
Perfect analogy for a doctor, a surgeon. I need to understand how the hell people don't get injured more than they do in roller derby before we close out the show.
All right. So I'm maybe
and
not.
Don't say knee pads.
Well, I broke my leg last year.
During roller derby?
Playing roller derby.
Okay.
So I'm probably not the best person to say, but first of all, it's a flat track. It's not like Whip It, the movie.
Right.
Second of all,
wow, deep cut pop culture reference. Well
right?
done.
You're welcome. Second of all, there is a lot of protective equipment, and the best leagues are there to keep their people safe. So we have rules for a reason. We have officials for a reason, and we make sure people are safe, or else we don't let them play full contact.
So if one is interested, and I'm not speaking for myself, how hard is it to access a roller derby league around the country?
There's a lot of them, actually. And I think it's really interesting. One of the medal-winning speed skaters in the Olympics this year, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, she actually plays roller derby. which I think is really cool. So there's roller derby teams for women, men, all genders, you name it, all over the United States. We actually just started in our league, the Salt City Roller Derby League, a rookie class boot camp, like literally yesterday. And we have standing room only. We don't even have enough space. We have people on the wait list. People are super excited to be a part of it.
Okay. So we're going to go with Fayetteville, Austin, Oneida, Johnson City, New York, and D.C. have been your roosts.
Yep.
You went to med school to work in tech and build a cloud before that was a word, right? You do roller derby. I was reading here, you were mentioning all the frizzy hair. I had frizzy hair. I had like the kid and play fro.
Yeah, I had the white girl fro for a long time.
Yeah, well done. So yeah, coming from humble beginnings, I want to move to our lightning round.
Excellent.
Which, are you familiar with it?
I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah. So you're probably curious who the hell you are.
I have no idea, but I'm interested.
Okay, so for the listeners, again, I ask my ChatGPT a question. It doesn't go south as much as you think. And I'm batting like, I don't know, 900 out of 1,000 at this point now. I feed my ChatGPT information about you. Then I tell it how I feel about who you are, what you do, why you're on the show, and I think the fun we're going to have. And I ask it the following question. If you were a Netflix series, what 3 pop culture figures from film, TV, art, whatever, would embody your character? You are, according to ChatGPT, Bette Midler in Ruthless People. Sharp, controlled chaos wrapped in total command. She walks into a room already 10 steps ahead, delivers the line with a smile, and leaves everyone else trying to catch up.
All right. Well,
you are Trinity from The Matrix.
I can see that too.
Precision operator inside a broken system she fully understands, but does not romanticize. She moves fast, trusts her read of reality over narrative, and carries the weight of consequence without needing applause.
I'm just going to take off my headphones. I think we're done here. Yeah.
Wait, and this one's might be more of a deep cut than what you told me. Michael Keaton in Night Shift.
Oh, for the love of God.
With Henry Winkler. Everyone's like, what the hell is this going on here? All right. Fast, irreverent, allergic to institutional nonsense, but somehow still the most functional adult in the room.
There you go.
So you are Bette Midler in Ruthless People, Trinity from The Matrix, and Michael Keaton in Night Shift.
Val says we're correct, so.
All right, if Val's nodding on the radio here.
Yes.
ChatGPT for the win again.
I think so.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Sarah Matt, author of the brand new book from Wiley, wherever books are sold, The Borderless Healthcare Revolution. There's really no outro for you because you're such a unicorn. Is there any one thing that you want listeners to, like your website is there, sarahmatt.com.
DrSarahMatt.com.
Dr. Sarah Matt. Again, link in the episode notes for
Absolutely.
sure.
I think what I'd say is that despite all the issues in healthcare, I remain optimistic about our ability to change it. And I think even individuals at the local level can make big changes in healthcare access today.
All right. You heard her, folks. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you next time on Out of Patience. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary is a production of Matthew Zachary Worldwide. The executive producer is Matthew Zachary. It is mixed and edited by Kyle Moore. If you like the show, ratings and reviews are always welcome wherever you get your podcasts. If you have guest suggestions or would like to learn more about sponsorship opportunities, email podcast@matthewzachary.com. For more information about Matthew Zachary and Matthew Zachary Worldwide, visit matthewzachary.com.